What it do, what it is, y'all? It's your boy TEJ reporting from the right side over here. To my left, I got my boy Harpreet Moore. Happy, that's his name. And then over there, Sherbert every 5,000, that's Everett Calderon, the man, the myth, the guy that makes it all happen. And the reason I made my first ever credit mishap. That's what we're gonna talk about today.
What a give and take, huh?
How it's not my fault my credit messed up. Somebody else pressured me to do something and I messed my credit up.
It's easy to blame others for
It
your
is.
own actions.
Because I didn't want that MacBook 12-inch, $1,800 laptop.
But
I still got it.
But that's the reason why you have your nursing license.
That is 100% correct, okay?
So can you really be that mad at me?
Wait, in what sense?
So,
It helped him
this
to-
was
It
it,
helped
like,
him go through
I've never seen
school?
him use it.
no. So
Well,
like,
probably research some stuff.
what were we, 18, 19-ish right then?
I still remember the day, you know why? Because I was freshly turned 18.
Ah.
And that's the day that I knew that the banking world would open up to me.
Wow.
Right? Because I was already in banking with like credit union back at high school and then doing that whole internship program. So then I was like, yo, as soon as I'm 18, like, I'm about to get this money.
Right.
Or like not even about the money, right? Because before then it was more so like I'm just gonna establish credit because you need credit to buy a house, buy a car, whatever it was. And then I just always wanted like the credit cards. I was like, oh, like this fancy, you know, if I don't got the money right now, I just pay it back. Obviously, I didn't really know how credit worked.
Yeah.
So I think for me first, it was grab the Wells Fargo credit card, and I was like, okay, cool, because I already had a relationship. And then I remember like I would go different places, and they'd be like, you want a credit card? I'm like, yeah, let me get that. So I remember we were at I don't know if you remember
Apple.
this. No, we were at for some reason like the Apple card was always like a kryptonite for me. Like I applied for the Barclays card. It was Barclays at the time, and then I just never got approved. And I was like, dude, I'm getting approved for everything else. Why can't I get the Apple card? Like I really wanted Apple products.
Right.
And then we were at the mall. This was like probably it was like 2014, 2015 or something like that. Shows our age, but you know.
Unk.
I don't remember if you remember this, but we were at K Jewelers.
Okay.
And then we were just browsing, and then I was just kind of like, oh my, I'm not gonna buy anything, but you know, if I wanted to, you know. And then the guy's like, oh, I'll put your credit right now, you know, we'll do this. And I was like, all right, cool, for sure. And then he comes back, hey man, you're approved for $2,500.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, that's cool. So he gave me like, I had the line of credit, but I never used it. But it was just cool to have.
Yeah.
And then just like knowing that if I wanted to buy something, I had $2,500 worth of credit to buy at the store. So then at this point, like I was already kind of like doing the credit stuff, just applying and then just getting credit for myself and then just being able to kind of like stack credit cards. And then with him, we were just in his room.
Yeah, no, this is when I was in college, right? The first year of college. I remember I used
Was
to
this during
Taft.
or Taft? Yeah, it was during Taft.
Because as a student, Discover, they hook up students, right? And then I believe we applied for the Discover card. Cool. Never figured out how to use it. Never figured out how to pay it. I was like, cool. Oh, I got $2,000. This is just like my little check I get from college that I'm getting. You know, like I get money. Cool. And then I was like, oh, I need a laptop and blah blah. End up going to the mall, buy the MacBook, whatever, $1,800.
Because he was gonna buy it cash, right?
Yeah.
He was gonna buy it cash. Oh, I got the money. I'm like, why would you do that? Like, look, we just go online real quick. We apply. And then boom, I think he had like $2,000 or whatever.
Got approved.
It was like right enough to buy the computer. So then he got the pre-approval on there, and then we go to the Apple store, and then like he ends up getting it for credit. Whatever you did after that is not my responsibility.
But like it's like, look, if you teach me how to drive, like you should tell me to pay attention to other drivers. Right?
Yeah, I
Like,
did. I was like, yeah, I'll just pay your payments on time. That's it.
No, but with us, you probably realized along the time that we don't listen to you when you used to tell us one time. You
Yeah.
told him once.
Yeah,
no, but
That's
this
not
is
enough.
we're talking about 12, 13 years ago. But I remember.
No, it's more than that.
It's more than that?
It has to
Damn.
be. No, it's less. It's less.
Is
like
it less?
10, 11. 10,
Okay,
11,
yeah.
Makes me feel a little bit younger.
All I remember is when we were in nursing school, we became nurses, like I was like always in debt. I was like, why can't I save my money? This check's coming in, but then they keep adding minimum payments. I remember looking at 2 Discover cards, Apple card, like $9,000, right? As a 20-year-old that just got into his new career, and I just still never figured out how to pay that off. That high utilization always killed me, right? Well, I got this laptop, but now I can't buy the car, so then I had to go use dad's credit. All right. Oh, cool. We got this thing, but now I need like we had to use mom's credit. Like mine was always just maxed out, and I feel like that was my biggest mishap. Like I didn't know. Like I don't know if there was apps that back then that told us like, hey, pay down your card or like lower your usage. Like I don't
Well,
remember any of
my
that.
biggest thing though was like I was good at getting credit, right? So I was getting credit, had credit cards, multiple, and then just utilizing. But my biggest issue was paying things back. Like I would pay things on time, like I would just do the minimum payment because I didn't really know how the whole statement cycles worked and then pay before the due date, whatever, all that good stuff. Like so that was my only thing. So like I even when I was like younger, like 18 to like 19, 20, like I never had like a 700 credit score. It was always kind of hanging out with between like 620, 640, 680. Like 680 is probably the highest it ever got. But it was just because of that. And then now looking back, I'm like, oh, well, obviously hindsight is 2020.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, I just had to pay down utilization. But then it goes in the same issue. I didn't have money.
Yeah.
Like it's like you're like I was working as a bank teller, so it's like yeah, I'm making a little bit over minimum wage. But even then,
You don't have money to clear it.
We got a car, and then all my money was going to the car, and because I really wanted a car, and then I was like, oh man. So I think that's just kind of like the biggest issue that happens when you're young. You get all this credit, but you don't realize how to pay things back efficiently.
You don't know how to manage the money.
That's
that
the
you have.
scariest thing, right? Like, nobody really knows. Like, we're 18, 19. Nobody, like, our parents didn't even know to teach us, but they kind of did.
My parents always said, "Oh, just buy it on credit and just pay minimum payments back." Right, but same thing, they didn't know, and then
Yeah.
whenever they needed to apply for something,
was-
they had good payment history. The score probably wasn't the highest,
But
but,
their
they would still
history,
get
yeah.
approved. So for them, it was like, "Oh, this is how the system works. You get credit if you can't afford it right now. Pay back on monthly payments, and just a bare minimum."
I hid it from my parents. Like, I never let them know, oh, yeah, I have $10,000 in credit card debt. Like, I'm pretty sure if I told them, opened up to them, they would be like, hey, like, this is how you need to budget. This is how you need to do this. But we're just hanging out and messing around all the time and just never did it. And it just kept adding up, right? That was a laptop, that was a Discover card. And then I went to a furniture store and bought something, right? Bought something for someone, right?
Elaborate.
Right. So I bought at the time, my ex, I bought her a vanity, all right? The guy said $100 payments for 60 months. I was like, cool, yeah, I'll just pay you guys $100. I didn't know they gave me a credit card and I was supposed to pay the credit card. Like, they didn't tell me that. the dude just said, yeah, it's like $100 a month if you finance it. It's gonna be $2,000. And then next thing you know, now I got lates on this. And that was like prime, I was making good money too, but then I couldn't get anything because I was like, my credit's messed up now. What the hell do I do?
It's just a management.
Dude,
credit.
dude.
See,
Yeah,
so
I think that's always.
I mean, you can tell it's not my fault. He never once mentioned late payments on the Barclays Apple Card until he made that fabulous choice
I
of
didn't
a
make
vanity.
I didn't make late payments. I got scammed. These guys told me it's $100 payments. But they never told me I'm going to get a credit card. I got to download the app and make the payments. I thought I was just going to start paying them $100 payments.
I think it's just the lack of
Education.
and knowing how like financial literacy works.
But just think about that.
You could
How-
call them a scam,
bro,
but it's just like, yeah, they don't have to.
But I'm just saying, right?
They
Like,
told you once.
how many people finally got their credit good enough to get approved for the apartment or bought the house or this, and the next thing you know, they'll go buy a dining table, and then like those slimy salesmen just don't elaborate. They just don't tell you. Like, yeah, you're supposed to do your own due diligence, but what do you do?
I mean,
Like,
yeah,
you know,
because
like-
it's easier to say, all right, it's a $2,500 dining set.
Yeah.
Like, what's gonna be easier? Oh, here's $2,500, or we could break it down to 100 payments, or 100 payments, whatever, $100
Yeah.
payments, whatever it is.
No one tells them about interest either at that point.
Well, I mean, the whole thing is like, oh, for 0% interest. I mean, it is for like
Yeah,
12,
for like a
12,
year,
12
yeah.
months, 12, 24 months, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then I think it's up to the consumer to realize, oh, how do I get this to not affect me as much as possible?
I just thought about another credit mishap I did, and this was recently. Remember Sacramento a year and a half ago? We were going. So, right now I'm in the game. This is as an adult, like knowing credit and everything. Called my bank up for my auto loan, and we changed. I got the hey man, they reduced the payment a little bit. They're like, we got you, right? But I wasn't informed that if whatever little repayment plan or whatever deal they gave me was gonna stop my auto pay and I had to re-enroll. Like, they just didn't tell me, right? So auto pay is great. You know your payments are going in time. You check your budget, but if you don't, you get screwed. 3 months, no payment goes through. We come back from a business trip from Sacramento. 3 a.m, there's a tow truck driver pulling my dad's car out of my driveway.
I remember that morning. I just wake up and I see what the hell is happening in the driveway.
Well, the funny part is like,
car's gone.
he's like, I think I'm good. All my payments are on time.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm chilling.
I was finally stabilized.
Little did he know.
Dude, that mishap happened now, right? Because we use all these tools to be smart and like, oh, make my life easier. The auto pays on, and like, if only I had a way to like, yeah, I should be more responsible looking at my budget every month, but like, why? I like getting texts. I don't like getting emails, right? Why didn't they text me, hey, make your payment? Nobody ever contacted me, and like, I'm just trying like, that's what pissed me off that I messed it up. Not because of my lack of education now, not because of my lack of financial literacy, because the tools I was using weren't working for me the right way.
I mean, I think that's just that you weren't using anything really.
Basically, my
know.
tool was remember, and I didn't remember.
I think that's what
Or you
happens.
get lazy to call them and
Exactly.
it's a 2 hour long call. I'm
Now,
gonna do that.
because think about it, right? We have 17, 16, 12 credit cards, 3 credit cards. It's hard to maintain all these things.
Right.
Now, I've been using Smart Credit's Money Manager because I could alert it on my phone to text me, hey, pay down before this to lower your usage. Hey, don't forget to make your car payment. And I'm just like, why didn't I have this before? Like, why wasn't this here when I first started with credit? Because I would have understood the usage. I would have understood all that utilization stuff. And it's just like I look back, we obviously can't change it, but it's like, man, like there's so many things we could have done, but we just didn't go that route and utilize tools and even check each other in a sense too.
I mean, it's just you like stay on top of it, and then like I think people are very visual because you can tell somebody, hey, if you pay this down, your score will increase, right? Well, even when I was on the phone yesterday with Diana, right, with our preferred lender, so I was telling her, I was like, oh, he's good, like 150 items deleted. All he has to do is just pay his things down, and then obviously they're gonna be like, oh, but there's that one thing still on there. I'm like, yeah, but it's not really affecting you anymore. Now it's just your usage, where you can gain anywhere from 50 to 100 points if you just pay things down. So like what I like doing is I'll hop on a Loom video, or I'll just create a Loom video, screen share, recording myself too, and then I'll go through the client's Smart Credit account report, and then be like, hey, look, this is what's been removed, this is what's remaining on here, and then if we go to Score Boost, and then from Score Boost, I'll show them exactly if you pay $1,000, $2,000, and then you pay by this date, then it'll report by this date, and then they're like, you can increase this amount of points, and they're like, wow, this is so cool. Like, I can actually see it now.
Yeah.
And the best thing about it is if you set that amount that you want to pay down, then it's going to send you those reminders, hey, this is your best pay down date. I personally like email just because I always check my email. Obviously, some people can do text, email, whatever it is. But then now people are more visually learning and then looking at what can happen if they actually stay on top of it. So I think things like that is what a lot more people need to avoid those mishaps. Because, I mean, those, if you really think about it, those are just kind of part of like negligence.
Yeah.
Right? Like they could have been easily avoided, but sometimes we just need something to alert us or give us a quick little, hey, here's a reminder. It could be 3, 4, 5 days ahead of time, and then it could just avoid so much issues later down the road.
Because we all know you're gonna use the card. The usage is gonna go up.
Definitely.
But do you know how to maintain that? Do you know how to pay that back? Like,
Yeah, because you can make a mistake in a moment of minutes. Like,
I've been there.
tell me, what are you about to say, Happy? What
Well, like
minutes?
you're watching the game, and the next thing you know, you're like, oh, I put $500 on the Bills, and they lose.
Well, wait, you guys just
Sorry,
like
this is the Bills.
first it was Stranger Things. Now it's the Bills.
And that happens, and then you're like, no, I'm gonna get it back. Next game is cool, and you lose that, and next thing you know, just because of sports betting, all of a sudden you don't.
Wait,
It could be
wait.
sports betting. It could be entertainment.
on these on these sports betting apps, you can use your credit card.
Yeah,
That's
insane. That's what makes it so much easier.
The
You got
thing is,
people.
it's Apple Pay.
Apple, like it's that easy. Good thing I don't do it.
I think
'cause
on Bovada I loaded it up one time with Apple
On
Pay.
Apple Pay? I didn't know.
Or,
I never
I don't
used
know. Maybe it
Apple
was just a credit card. I don't know.
that's kind of
It
like
was just easy. No, maybe I
scary.
used my Apple card. That's what it was.
because you're playing with. First of all, it's not your money; it's credit, right? And then you're betting
Yeah,
with
but
money
if
that's
you
not.
hit, you can pay it back.
Exactly, and then you have some in your pocket.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
Happy, how about if you don't mind sharing, how many times does it hit and how much debt is still sitting there because it didn't hit?
Well, that's none of your business. But the main
Look, as long as it hits, it hits. A win is a win.
The
know,
main
bro.
part is you're waiting for that win. You're waiting for that win. Yeah, it'll take a while, but in that time, you got all this credit card debt lined up, and you're just trying to pay it off with a win. And it just keeps going.
And
This
the worst
sounds
part-
like a problem,
The worst
brother.
part
It's
is,
not the gambling part, just managing.
no, see, the issue is that it's not a problem. It's relying on the win to come through.
Exactly.
Because what if the win doesn't come? then you're just still chasing the win.
And now you're
100%.
stuck in high usage, and
Right.
even if you use all the apps, you're still kind of screwed, brother. Like,
Right. No, I mean, in that sense, it's like it's a reminder, it's an alert, right? Like, okay, don't fucking gamble. You still got to pay this shit off, dude. In a sense.
I mean, yeah.
But yeah, like I've heard a lot of stories of high usage because of gambling debt, which is because it's so much easier to, like, you could even blackjack this and that,
Yeah.
and they're using credit cards, like.
Bro, the
that's
craziest high usage story I've had. This guy was going on TikTok lives and gifting people. Right? It's sad.
I thought it
and-
was you until you said the lives.
no, yeah.
TikTok fanatic.
He was going on lives and like I get it. I just buy stuff off of TikTok, but I don't give gifts, right? And this guy's like, oh yeah, like it was sad. And he didn't have any friends that talked to him, I guess, or this, but he would go on live and gift people. And he racked up over like $13,000 of just giving gifts, and now he doesn't know how to pay back. And it's interesting, right?
I think
Like,
it's just like not everybody deserves to have a lot of access to credit because they're not financially responsible.
Yeah, they're not.
well, I mean, that's the consequence, right? When you have the bad
But-
credit, like you're not really getting access
I mean,
to anything.
yeah, but then it's like if you don't have the credit, then sometimes you can't have fun. Shoulder rub fun.
I mean, I understand that. Okay, Everett.
I'm just saying, sometimes it provides different avenues, different opportunities.
To each their own lifestyle, right? Like some people would use their credit to utilize to go to school. Some people would gamble it away. Some people buy vanities, and some people do what you do.
I didn't know that. That was a group activity. Don't put me in. Don't put me in no box. That was a group activity.
What do you like? Like you're about to have a child, right? Like how do you reinforce this in family? Like, hey, these mistakes happen to me, right? Like our parents always tell us, like, I don't do this, but like, can you make it a real thing? Just like we know, hey, don't stay out after 2 a.m. Something bad's gonna happen, right? Like everybody has that
See,
in their
that's how I
brain.
know you don't listen. Nothing good happens after 12. It's not
12,
2.
2, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like,
No, it's 12.
there's things that we get stuck with, and like, I don't want to make these mistakes. Why don't people take that as serious when it's credit? Like, how would you pass that on to the next generation?
I mean, like even now, like I have cousins coming from India soon, right? And we're gonna have to house them, help them out. And I think that's the main thing that I want to teach them is that, like, hey, if you use this credit card, you got to pay it off. It's like borrowed money. You can't just like hold off on it because you want to be able to buy a house. And I mean, at that point, it's like maybe putting them on smart credit at that early time. Like they're here, oh, let's get you an account, right?
Yeah.
And then that way they can manage it, and the tools will help them. And then at the end of the day, like I don't know how else to build discipline to that. It's just over and over explaining to somebody how it works and telling them the details of it instead of them having to go to a store and asking the employee who's not going to explain it to them.
Exactly.
Right?
I mean, provide them
That-
the formula. And
Yeah.
Too, but it's
Let
like
them-
you have to realize people aren't really going to listen until they face the consequence.
That too.
That is
that's
true.
what I've
Like,
learned.
it's
too.
very
Like, you just gotta
difficult.
But
let them-
that's, I think that's one of like the worst feelings I get. Like, man, I could tell you everything, but it doesn't hit until you go through the problem and you're like, oh, I should have listened to that person.
And then the other thing too is like what you can do in that aspect is if you go on score boost, right, and then you slide it instead of the right, where the right is a positive,
You go-
slide it to the left, and you'd be like, if you use all your credit cards to like whatever amount you have, then this is how much your score is gonna drop. And I think that's a good feature to like
Yeah.
let them know this is what it's gonna cost you if you actually end up overextending yourself. Because I mean, at the end of the day, you don't want to be overextended on credit. You don't want to be overexposed.
It's just building easy habits when you first start with credit, right? Like slowly building it up. But like if you show them that from the beginning, that would be like, oh, so I don't want that. Like I want to be able to buy a car soon.
Yeah, they just get.
But
I mean,
yeah.
you almost have to like scare them straight,
Yeah.
right? Being able to kind of like,
Yeah.
hey, this is what could happen, and then that's when they actually end up realizing it.
I just thought of a crazy new TV show. Like, rather than Beyond Scared Straight, you take kids and throw them in jail. Beyond Scared Straight, you take adults, take them to car dealerships, and show them how much interest rate they would get if they try to purchase a car.
I wouldn't watch that. Yeah,
Not watch that, put that in a program. Like, look, man, like this is the life you want to live. Like, Come, let me show
But
you.
then you get into a whole different topic where what's more important to them, the emotional factor or the financial factor? And a lot people are wired to be more emotional,
Yeah.
so they're gonna go emotional 100% of the time because they're gonna be like, well, I'm gonna die anyways. I might as well just buy the car that I want.
Yeah, that's true.
Or they're just gonna go back home to India, right, with our clients.
Yeah, like yeah, I'm gonna bounce back home. I don't need to stay
It's
this
like,
here. This
I'm only
place.
here for, what is it? I'm here for good time, not long time. Like people really think like that. So it's like, I mean, obviously you can provide the tools and the resources that people can utilize, but it's truly up to them to actually use them and then be like, okay, cool, this is what I need to do.
Is it a taboo thing? Like, is this like, like, they don't teach us credit in school
Or families.
or families. They don't talk about it. Like, you know how, Indian families, you don't talk about sex, like other family, you don't talk about this. Like there's always these things, right?
I mean, in a sense, like you don't want to have the kid worrying about money, but when it's time, oh, here's a credit card, go do whatever, like maybe it's a taboo thing, or it's more so like, oh, it's not important right now. He'll
Right
figure it
now,
out,
yeah.
right?
But I
it's
mean,
not
that's
like
why we
that. I
have
feel like
our
our
Spanish.
generation.
I mean, that's why we have our Spanish division as mesa financiera, right? Because you don't talk about finances at the table, right? So you always have to shine some light onto it.
And that's true as well too in the Punjabi community, the Indian community. Like,
Chocolate, pick it up.
pick it up,
it up.
man. Pick up the slack. Pick up the
pace.
book. Pick up the pace. Like, you really need to, like, indulge yourself into this because most likely nobody else did this before. Like, yeah, we have businesses. Indian people have this, but they use cash and they use family. Right? They pool their money. Nowadays, you can do that with each other, and I think it's another stepping stone like people will get towards, but until they see the worth of it in the mainstream. And it's hard to talk mainstream credit because any news station, anything you talk about, like how often do people talk about credit?
It's always about the negatives.
Right.
Right? But what would you tell partners out there about credit mishaps and then being able to educate their clients? Like if you could tell partners one thing, what would you tell them?
Like in one sense, what you mean?
Like what your bad credit experience is or what bad credit taught you. So that maybe that way they
okay.
can help relate that message to their clients.
Right.
So like if you're talking to partners directly, what would you tell them?
Well, in my opinion, I feel like it's always about, like you said, you have to go through it yourself to see it. So you got to listen to your client. You got to know exactly and feel for them. But at the same time, it's like, hey, no one taught you this, so let me try to put you on game. But I'm only going to do this if you're actually going to listen and make changes, right? Because usually it's in one ear, out the other. So it's like you don't want to waste your time or theirs either. So know they're actually trying to make these changes and then put them on game and actually use the tools to come back out of that debt, right?
Yeah, I like that. What about you?
What
What would you tell partners?
What I typically do is, like, you can't dive too deep into a question they have because they just want the outside and then, hey, give me something that I could probably learn a little bit more. So meaning, like,
It has to be multi-layered.
yeah, like you can't go all out 15 minutes, be like, hey, you need to do this. If they're concerned about something or if they don't comprehend one topic you're talking about on the report, just talk about that in detail. And then get on the phone with them again next week. Send a video to them in a month or 2 weeks, Get on the phone with them when it's their update. Be like, hey, last month I taught you about utilization. Let me make sure you understand now these different varieties of things as well. Because, like, it's too overwhelming. Like, I made that mistake staying on the phone with the person for a long time, going in all detail. Next month, nothing stuck. So just stick to one thing for that one call and reach back out. Provide a resource. Text them, be like, hey, don't forget, this is what we talked about.
Yeah.
Because, like, some people say you have to baby them. I don't think it's that. I think it's,
And do walk them step by step.
yeah, like I'm walking you through because, like, it took me forever to understand this. You have to get personable and relatable. Like, you have to let them know, like, hey, like, it's okay that this happened. Like, people go through it. Like, I've actually been through it too. These are things I used in my own family to fix it. Right? Or me and my friends would talk about this is how I fixed it. And yes, this goes along with all the credit stuff that we do here. Like, you have to be personable and you have to be short in a sense. Like, even this tangent, right? It's 3 minutes. Sometimes that's too much. It's
Yeah,
rambling.
I kind of lost it.
No one's understanding
30 seconds
it.
ago.
But if it's, hey man, oh yeah, this affects you
And
in
he
this
still
way.
keeps going.
But that's the thing though. Like, you have to find that balance because some people Like sometimes
That's the thing. Like clients come to you and they're always looking for, they're always looking for an answer, a solution. But it's not that easy. You just it's not it's step A to Z. You have to do B, C, D.
Well, because they
work.
have 6 years of living like this. You can't break those 6 years in a 30-minute call.
Oh, yeah.
It has to be step by step.
Exactly.
Like one thing that I would tell partners is be a product of your own product, right? Because if you go through your systems, if you go through your service, however you're servicing your clients, if that helps you, then that's going to be able to yield the best results for your clients, which then is going to be able to grow the business, but then also keep on bringing referrals. Right? Everybody talks about paid marketing, paid ads, which is great, helps the business, but what better way to be able to grow your business by word of mouth and people trusting you with one of the most sensitive information that we have, which is your social security and your credit, right? So if you're able to do that, then your business will blossom into an ever-growing business, which is essentially evergreen, because somebody will always be able to refer you, whether that be for credit repair, credit education, credit coaching, whatever it may be. Be multifaceted and be a product of your own product.
you know ball, huh?
I know, ball.
You know, ball. We know ball.
Hoosers! Look, I honestly think that the one thing I want to emphasize is be personal. Like, you're just a human. That's just a human. Like, just be true, man. You don't know what you're doing 99% of the time in this world. The person on the phone doesn't know either. Just be in the moment. Be like, all right, man, yeah, we can figure this out for you.
That's all it takes. I think that wraps it up for our credit mishaps.
You make mistakes, you learn from mistakes, and then you take the lesson from them. That's the same thing. I said it twice, but you know what's nice. It's TEJ, Ted your Teds, and we're going to be out of here.